the teachings of XOYLO.
Okay, I'm going to try and answer some of the hardest questions using some very simple metaphors. The questions I'm going to try and answer is: what is the meaning of life? Why are we here? What is the human soul? And what is God? Think of our physical body as being a physical bottle of water, and the water inside that bottle as being our soul. Think of then the water being released from that bottle, so the soul being released from the physical body, and it going down the sink and back into the rivers, and then eventually leading out to the sea. So you've got the soul coming from the physical body, going back into the stream of life, and then reaching God. And that's about as simple as I can actually explain the actual cycle. So you're coming from where you once came. I mean, the bottled water had to come from somewhere. So the actual body itself is created at birth, and the water is then in place while it's still in the actual body of the mother. The actual soul is drawn to the actual physical body through a harmonic. So I've managed to explain the flow, if you will, of the soul back into the actual stream of energy and back to God. So what is God? God is essentially a collection of energy, and we are all part of that same energy. Break anything down in its smallest divisions and it is all energy. Now the soul itself is created by the vibrational tones inside the solar system. The actual physical frame has 7 chakra points to it, and each of the different chakra points carries a harmonic or vibrational note that matches one of the planets in our solar system. And the idea is, through incarnation and reincarnation, you will finally manage to polish the microcosm of the universe, which is your soul, to being perfect. And what I mean by this is, think of, the pictures that they take on ghost amateur footage, where you see an orb, and the orbs have concentric rings to it, almost like when you cut a tree. You can see how many rings are there, that's how many years it's been on the planet. Well, it's almost the same for the orbs. You can count the rings to see how many incarnations that spirit has been through, or that soul has been through. And every single time you go through an incarnation, it's like writing a track to a record. Do you remember the old LP records that play music? Think of those tracks as being a track of someone's life, or a life journey, or a life incarnation. Through time and through different mediums of having different life experiences, you write a different track to that record, be that a negative or positive life experience. Even the most shortest of lives is an experience of life, and that will be burnt to that record, and in the end it will make a perfect tune, a perfect harmonic vibration for you to transcend further. And when I say about ascending further, there are multiple planets throughout the whole of the universe that support life, much like our own. And those planets that support life have surrounding planets in their solar system that contain vibrational notes that have sway on the chakra points of the physical beings that are upon those planets. Now there are planets out there that have a higher count of chakra points than our own, and they have a higher transit and energy understanding than us. And there are those that are much lower. And we've probably already been incarnated on there through our life journey. Now, as I mentioned, the physical body has 7 chakra points. Each of those chakra points can have negative and positive attributes to them, or traits. And this is where the term of the 7 heavens and the 7 hells comes from. And it's through the 7 heavens and 7 hells that you understand or learn or get progressed through to complete your vibrational transit, to make your soul a perfect reflection of the microcosm of the solar system that you're within, and eventually the universe, in coming back and being part of God. The word occult simply means hidden, and the word demon simply means knowledge, and the angels are of the divine. So you have to understand all three to gain hidden, divine knowledge. So which religion is the true religion? Which religion do you follow? Well, I feel that all religions tell the same truth, that the soul can never be destroyed, and that energy continues to exist and is immortal and goes on forever. However, that being said, every religion also says that you can damn your own soul, or your soul can be damned or destroyed in the infernals of hell. The only way that you can actually destroy the soul is if you don't believe that you have one. Every single person on this planet has a soul and a life vehicle. This is also known as the Merkaba, or the chariot. Aleister Crowley called this vehicle the star. We are all stars. And the Merkaba itself does look like a 3D construct of the Star of David. That's probably where this term comes from. If you believe that when you die, that is it, you are damning your own soul, you need to believe that you will transcend, and that you will continue on, and you will be reborn, and you will move on to a higher plateau. Believing in your soul, as previously said, that God is part of us and we are part of God. Believing in your own soul and your own immortality and own energy transit is the belief in God. It does not matter which God that you pray to, or what name you turn or coin to be in God, because God is one and the same thing. Just as all the streams and all the rivers and all the seas and oceans are interlinked, so are we. Many ancient civilizations and cultures know of the route of transition and ascension, and how important it is for the actual soul to escape from where it resides. The soul resides within inside the seat of the soul, which is also known as the pineal gland of the brain. The pineal gland is what's responsible for creating our dream world and our subconscious. This area also creates a chemical called DMT. Now, there have been multiple trials of DMT in different scientific labs, and what was found is that when taking a substance of DMT, a chemically created composite of DMT, you could simulate, or those that took it had out-of-body type experiences, and some even claimed to having direct contact with beings that quite similarly sound like those that I've encountered with the XOYLO from my own near-death experience, and also my astral experiences. Not that I condone the use of DMT, however, there are tribes out in Brazil and other areas of the world that use ayahuasca. It's a type of root that contains a high concentrate of DMT. They create a tea and drink this tea in ceremonies to do spirit walking and to speak to those of the other side, or to gain sacred or hidden knowledge. To think that the brain itself creates this chemical to aid us in actually escaping from our physical body and to transcend over into the astral or to the non-physical realm is quite staggering. The DMT program that I'm referring to is called the Spirit Molecule. I suggest that you look for it. If you have Netflix, I believe it's on there, and there are many YouTube links and a small extract of the film online. Now back to the actual parasitic beings, those that can actually latch onto your actual soul and feed from it. These can be picked up through different mediums. A lot of them are linked vicariously to the occult, or opening yourself up to those sort of channels and mediums, those sort of vibrational tones and lower spectrums of energy. It can happen through no fault of your own, or even having no occultic links or ties. I refer to these beings as called the jinn, or shadow entities, or shadow people. However, some have said that they take a reptilianistic type form, and I have got videos already up on reptilians and shadow people. Please check my video library. However, my rituals and meditational techniques, although they can be used to call forward to the jinn, the lower realms or parasitic beings, my actual rituals are used for the higher XOYLO type spectrum, or the higher energies of the higher plateaus, guardian angels, and those that wish to guide us through our lower end journey of life experience. I call these the race of the XOYLO. However, other people have called them the Galactic Federation of Light, the Watchers, and many other geists and names, angels, demons, demigods, whatever you want to refer to them. And to me, they're all one and the same thing. They're all part of the stream and energy transit that are of the race of the XOYLO. And XOYLO, for me, I take the word XOYLO from the ichthus. If you look at the Greek meaning of each of the letters of the ichthus for the Jesus type fish symbol, you will gain the meaning of the word XOYLO, which is spelled XOYLO. So just to sum up why we are here. We are here to reproduce, to create more life vehicles, to aid and better the energy transit and flow and vibration of the energy stream, to make it more pure, to polish our souls and our inner and universal selves, to ascend to higher plateaus, to become essentially closer to God and part of God and more perfect, to add tracks into our record, if you will, to make the perfect harmonic tones and the perfect song. And what is God? God is nothing but a collective of energy, a stream of consciousness and perhaps even emotions that we can't even fathom or understand. It's almost like the bacteria and microbes that you find in water. They are in a single droplet of water, moving around freely as they wish, completely oblivious to the world outside of them and around them. However, they are still alive and living and have their own energy and their own vibration, just as we do. They are on the same scale as us, just right down at the opposite end of the spectrum. So while enjoying life, you need to enjoy each spectrum of life. Every emotion, you need to try and push it to its fullest. You need to gain the most out of it. I know that can be hard when trying to understand and to study maybe some of the more negative spectrums of energy. However, you still need to try and experience as much as you can through each life cycle to then hopefully progress and move on and transcend further. So limiting yourself to some of the rules or laws that confine us may not always be correct. Aleister Crowley again said, do as ye wilt. So to experience whatever it is that you feel that you need to experience and to push it to that higher level. So if you are going out there to commit a sin, commit an extremely bad sin. I mean, I'm not condoning that and I'm not suggesting you do it. However, it is something that will help your soul progress and grow. Royal bloodlines, or those in power, those are higher up the ladder, they do it on a daily basis. They wage war on other countries. They pillage or take from the land that is not theirs. They give people the rights to do as they wish or throw away laws whenever it suits them. These are the people that are transcending. These are the people that are going to be moving on to the higher plateaus before ourselves or our kin. But as I say, you can experience or add these vibrational notes to your own energy transit through rituals, through reenactments, through doing things. It may not give you the same vibrational note or vibrational tone as what can be achieved by physically doing the physical acts, but it can come quite close. If you cannot wait for the videos to come out around the meditation or ritualistic practices that I conduct to actually call to the higher energies, or my methods of astral projection, you can always purchase a digital copy of my book from the Lulu website. I believe it's about £1 or $1, or you can buy the physical book itself, which is extensively more, but it's of high quality, full colour, and I would strongly suggest it for anybody's bookshelf.
The teachings of XOYLO.